Hello, my friends, and welcome. I hope you'll enjoy getting ready with me today as I create a summer look using drugstore makeup that works just as well, if not better, than many high-end products. It's definitely possible to find great quality as well as poor quality makeup at all different price points. But today we're going to focus on some really top-notch drugstore products. In addition to using some of my top favorite makeup brands today, I'll also mention some other great drugstore products in various makeup categories along the way. And toward the end, I'll also touch on a few makeup categories where higher-end products can sometimes be a stronger choice. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Elise, and my mission and passion as a professional working makeup artist is helping all of us over 50 not only look our best so we can feel our best, but also have some fun in the process. So if this approach strikes a chord with you, I hope you'll subscribe and become part of our family. Now, let's get to today's topic. We all know that there can be some drawbacks with drugstore products. They might be harder to apply due to less pigment, they may not last as long, and there may not be as many color choices. And probably the biggest drawback is trying to find a foundation shade by looking at the bottles in the drugstore or looking at an online swatch of color. I imagine we've all had to deal with that dilemma. However, I'd like to take just a moment to share the inside scoop on the topic of drugstore versus high-end makeup from someone who knows the beauty industry inside out. Her name is Andrea Q. Robinson, and she's the author of the book Toss the Gloss: Beauty Tips, Truths, and Tricks for Women 50 Plus. She's a legendary figure in the fashion and beauty industry where her career spanned more than 40 years. She's a former beauty editor of Vogue, fashion editor of Mademoiselle, and creative director of 17 magazine. She was also a chief marketing officer at Estee Lauder and has been honored with multiple beauty industry awards. So she definitely knows whereof she speaks about all things beauty. In her book, Andrea Robinson has said that the major beauty corporations own or license several brands in a wide range of price points. For instance, Estee Lauder runs Bobbi Brown, Clinique, Tom Ford, La Mer, MAC, Estee Lauder, Smashbox, and Too Faced, just to name a few. The L'Oreal Group has Maybelline, Lancome, L'Oreal Paris, IT Cosmetics, NYX, and Urban Decay, among others. And Coty owns CoverGirl, Max Factor, and Rimmel. Basically, in each of these major corporations, there is one research lab that develops ingredients that are widely used across many of the brands owned by that particular corporation. But different scientific sounding names are often used for the same ingredient in different products. So for instance, a drugstore brand might introduce a product with beautiful packaging with ingredient X and launch an ad campaign featuring a celebrity spokesperson. Another brand, owned by the same corporation, might introduce virtually the same product with the same ingredient X, but have different luxury packaging and a chic French name. And the only real difference is usually the price. So all of this just goes to show that you can often find really good makeup and beauty products at the drugstore. And that's what we're here to focus on today. Let's start with our eyes and work our way down the face. I've already done my brows using 3 really good drugstore eyebrow products: e.l.f.'s Instant Lift Brow Pencil in Taupe, NYX's Lift and Snatch Eyebrow Tint Pen, and Almay's Brow Styler Gel in medium brown. Here's what they look like. And in case you haven't seen it close up, this is what the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen looks like. And what I love about the Almay Brow Gel is the very thin applicator, which makes eyebrow gel application really easy. The eye primer I'm going to use is from Essence, and it's called I Love Stage. There's only one color, but it does apply quite well. Milani makes a great eye primer, but unfortunately it's clear, so it doesn't cover up the discoloration that many of us have on our eyelids. One drugstore eye primer that looks like it would cover discoloration, but which I haven't yet tried, but hope to do so soon, is Jason Wu's new makeup brand, which is available at Target stores. His eye primer comes in 4 colors: white, light, medium, and deep. And if any of you have tried it, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And if you found any other drugstore eye primers which cover discoloration, I hope you'll share the name of that product in the comments section below. This is one makeup category where I'd love to see more good drugstore options. Here's the I Love Stage eyeshadow primer from Essence. I'm first going to take a Kleenex and pat off any excess oil. I do have pretty oily eyelids. And then I'm just going to dot some of this on. And I'm carrying it all the way from my lash line all the way up to my eyebrow. Normally I wouldn't have so many dips into the product, but I'm close to the bottom of it, so needed to go back in for a few dips. So I think you can see how that's helped my eyelid area and the whole area all the way up to my brows. For eyeshadow, I'm going to be using e.l.f.'s Retro Paradise eyeshadow palette, which, as of this filming at least, is still available at Target. I absolutely fell in love with the color story of this palette, and I also so appreciate that there's a great mix of light, medium, and darker shades, as well as a fun mix of colors. And it has 18 colors, and 11 of them are mattes, which provides a lot of really good versatility. Most of these colors apply really well and blend well, but there are 3 that aren't quite as easy to work with. But for $14, this is an impressive palette indeed. I'm going to start off by combining Dijon in the middle row with Sandy Bum in the top row. Here is Dijon, and this is Sandy Bum. I'm going to put this in the crease. As you can see, it applies really easily and it blends really easily. I'm going to add a little bit more just to give a little bit more depth to this area. And then as I finish up with that product on my brush, I'm going to bring it up closer to my brow area. And then I'm going to do the other side. Hopefully they match. And then I'm going to tilt my head back just to check. I think I need a little bit more on one eye. Put a little bit more here. Then I'm going to take my blending brush and blend that all in. Then I'm going to take Canvas, which is this lighter color, and put it across my eyelid area. As you can see, that's lightening up that eyelid area, and that's exactly what I want it to do. I want to have the eyes look a little bit bigger and more wide open, and by putting a lighter color on the lid, that's exactly what I can achieve. Then I'm taking Canvas on a smaller brush and just putting it underneath the arch of my brow. And I'm also going to put it on the inner corner of my eye. I do wish in this palette there were even a lighter color. There is a lighter color called Sea Salt, but it is pretty glittery. And it's one of the colors that doesn't apply very well. Next, I'm going with Fuego in the middle row and Caliente in the bottom row. Here's Fuego, and over here on the bottom row is Caliente. I'm going to put just a little bit of that color here in the crease area to give this a little bit more warmth. Then I'm going to take a smaller brush, and then I'm putting a little bit of this Fuego lighter color toward the inner part of my eye. And again, I want to do some blending. Next, I'm going to deepen the outer corners with Spiced from the top row and Coconut also in the top row. Here is Spiced, and here is Coconut. And I'm just going to pat these colors on the outer corner of my eye up into the crease area. You can see I'm getting some fallout here. And I'm just going to blend this in before I get rid of the fallout. This is why I never put on my face makeup before I do my eye makeup. These are really beautifully pigmented. The mattes in this particular palette are especially nice. I love these little Almay makeup pads, and I'm going to use that to clean up the fallout. And I'm now going to add some of this gorgeous blue called Royal on the outer lid and crease area. Here's what Royal looks like. And I'm just patting it on to that outer corner area. And as you can see, that's adding some more depth. And then I'm going to do some blending with a clean brush. Again, I'm getting some fallout, so I should have waited to clean it up earlier. And now I'm going to combine Cacao and Nightlife on the bottom row for my upper eyeliner. And on the bottom outer 1/3, I'm going to combine Sandy Bum with Coconut and add a little touch of the Blue Royal. Sandy Bum and Coconut are on the top row. It's the medium brown. the second from your left, and the deepest brown on your far right. And I'm using a very thin angled brush. It's actually an eyebrow brush to put on the shadow as eyeliner. It's much more forgiving this way. Okay, I'm adding some eyeliner to the outer 1/3 of my eyes. And I'm using a little bit of that blue royal just at the very outer edge. And then once again, I'm going to clean up any fallout under that eye area. And I'm also going to go straight up from under my eye and clean up any eyeshadow along the top area, outer edge. Now for some mascara. I would say that of all the different makeup categories, mascara is where drugstore brands really excel. There are a number of really top-notch drugstore mascaras, including L'Oreal's Lash Paradise, CoverGirl Lash Blast, Maybelline Lash Sensational, and 2 from Essence, their Princess False Lash Mascara and their Lash Princess Sculpted Volume Mascara. And I hope you'll share your favorite drugstore mascaras in the comments section below. Unfortunately, I haven't yet found a drugstore mascara that doesn't irritate my very sensitive eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Tarte's Lights Camera Action on top and my Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara on the bottom. Unfortunately, I think I grabbed my Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara that is almost done, so I'm not getting much mascara on these bottom lashes. For my foundation, I'm combining L'Oreal's Age Perfect Foundation in Rose Ivory with my Catrice True Skin Foundation in Cool Rose. I love the combination of these two foundations together. The Age Perfect Foundation gives me some radiance, and the Catrice foundation is more of a satin finish. The Catrice is a pump applicator and the L'Oreal is a squeeze tip applicator. I'm combining these on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to dot it on first in the places where I need it the most, which is the redness around the inner part of my face and my H spots, and then blending it in. This is such a satisfying part of my makeup routine to see all the redness and the age spots at least somewhat covered. I'm just going to bring it down onto my neck. Under the eyes, I'm going to use e.l.f.'s Hydrating Camo Concealer in Light Peach as my color corrector. And then over it, I'm going to apply just a small amount of the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Fair Beige. And to keep the under eye area from creasing, I'll use my Maybelline Fix Me Banana Powder over the concealer. Here is the Light Peach, which I'm just going to dot on. And I'm just going to press it in with my finger. And the peach color really helps cover up that blue purplish area under the eyes. I'm putting just a tiny bit of the Fair Beige on my finger because this doe foot applicator is fairly large, and I usually end up applying too much if I use it for this step. So I'm trying to brighten up that under eye area with this color. As you can see, that's a lighter color than my foundation color, and that's exactly what I wanted, about a half shade to 1 shade lighter than my foundation. Okay, this really melds into the skin very, very well. It's nice and creamy and hydrating. Now I'm taking some of my Maybelline Lasting Fix Banana Powder, and I'm going to put just a tiny bit under the eyes to cover the concealer so it doesn't crease. And I'm just pressing it in lightly because I don't want to move any of the concealer underneath. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to put some powder in that T-zone area. All right, concealer done and powder done underneath the eyes. And I want to mention several other really good drugstore powders. Rimmel's Stay Matte Powder and 2 powders from No. 7, which are available at Target. No. 7's Perfect Light Powder in Translucent, which is a loose powder, and their Lift and Illuminate Pressed Powder, which many people say is a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury's powder. And I also have to mention e.l.f.'s Halo Setting Powder, which is also excellent. To contour, I'm using e.l.f.'s Cream Contour Palette. Two other great drugstore products to use as contour are Maybelline's Fit Me Shine Free and Balanced Foundation Stick in the color Coconut, as well as Wet n Wild's Contour Stick in Wears Walnut. Just combining all three of these colors, of the darker colors, on my finger. And they're very creamy, so get it in my hair here. Also going to dab some underneath my jawline to help with the loosening of that jowl area, unfortunately, that happens over time. And just a tiny bit. And then, of course, the most important part, blending all of this. I'm using my Real Techniques sculpting brush, which is perfect for this because of the shape and the density of the brush. As you can see, it blends in really easily because it's so creamy. So you really don't have to worry about how you apply it. It can be pretty messy, as I was. And across my hairline. Probably got a little too much up there, but we can fix that with my foundation brush. So what I'm going to do is take my foundation brush and I'm going to go over the edges, both on the jawline and along the lower area of my face and across here, which is where I really need to blend it in a little bit more. There is still a little bit of foundation on this brush, which is why it works so well, just along the edges of the contouring to really make sure it's blended in. And I'll finish my face by applying Flower Beauty's blush in Bubbly, mixed with a slightly darker RCMA cream blush called Gina. Here's the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in Bubbly. And I'm going to be using the color that's third in from the right to mix with the Bubbly. When I mix these two colors, this is the color I get. Just going to apply this in the middle part of my cheekbone. Just pat in because I don't want to disturb the foundation underneath. And I think you can see how easily that just blends into the skin. I love these two blushes. Next is my highlighter, and it's going to be Wet n Wild's Liquid Mega Glow Highlighter in Halo Goodbye. Two other really good drugstore cream highlight options are Revlon's Skin Lights Face Glow Illuminator and NYX's Born to Glow Illuminator. This is what the Wet n Wild highlighter looks like. And here's what it looks like on the back of my hand. It's pretty glowy, so I'm going to sheer it out quite a bit. And I'm just putting this above where I applied my blush and then tapping it in. This really does a beautiful job of really melding into the skin, which is why it's one of my favorite highlighters. I think you can see the difference with this highlighter applied. And now finally lipstick. First, I'm going to apply Maybelline's Age Rewind in Light around my lips, followed by L'Oreal's Age Perfect Lip Liner in Bold Orchid. First, I'm going to spread my lips so I can get the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer into those little fine lines that are around my lips to help prevent feathering of the lipstick. This has lasted me forever, and I'm finally in need of a new one. As you can see, I'm really down to the nub with this lip liner. I'm going to have to invest in a new one of these as well. I'm going to start at the bottom of my lip and I'm going to overline just a little bit to make my lip a little bit fuller. And then I'm going to use my finger to just blend in a little bit to my lips. That really helps because if the lipstick comes off, you won't see a really harsh lip line left on your lips. And this is another makeup category where drugstores really excel. Wet n Wild, Essence, and Revlon all make really good lip liners. And to help prevent feathering, I'm next applying L'Oreal's matte lipstick called At the Drop of a Matte, followed by Milani's Violet Volt, which is more of a satin. By applying the matte lipstick first, I'm also helping to prevent feathering around the lip line. And here's Milani's Violet Volt. It's a gorgeous color. And last but not least, I'm applying some gloss over it. It's my CoverGirl Lip Lava in Violet. So I think you can see what a huge difference it makes to apply that gloss. And now let's take a look at the finished look. I really love all of these drugstore products, and all the products I've used, except perhaps the e.l.f. eyeshadow, are truly comparable to, if not better, than many high-end products. But there are 3 lower to mid-price brands which have fairly consistent good quality eyeshadows: BH Cosmetics, ColourPop, and Juvia's Place. But I will say that there are 3 makeup categories where I generally, just personally, prefer to use mid-range to higher-end products. That's my eyeshadow, my foundation, and my foundation buffing brush. My experience has been that mid-range to higher-end eyeshadows often have more pigmentation, which means that they blend in really effortlessly. And there's some really exceptional mid-range to higher-end foundations and brushes, which can really make our skin look flawless. Well, that winds things up for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please give it a thumbs up. And in the comments section below, I hope you'll share with us some of your favorite go-to drugstore products. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you stay happy and healthy and have a really fabulous rest of your day. Take care.